Hello everyone and welcome back to our mega city. Now the tracks are busy, the tracks of Crown Falls are full of trains. It's actually a bit more than I thought. And yeah, of course, a reason for that is that we are not only transporting oil back and forth, but also passengers now with a lot of these trains. So we basically just doubled our train output there on the tracks. I don't mind this, it's full, but at this point I would probably like to have some underground system or perhaps even some walls right next to them. This is actually a thing that I was thinking about, that we could just have the industrial brick walls right next to these trains. It would make sense, kind of like a sound barrier that we have then. But of course, it's ugly. It's really ugly. It just doesn't fit into that city here. And we rather stay with those guys here. Unfortunately, no other mechanic is available there right now. But for future cities, I might be thinking about a proper system there if we do have these double tracks again. Because those trees obviously are not, well, everything. They are just not cutting it out, especially when there's so much traffic. And look at that. This dirt road was hiding itself there for quite some time successfully, and now it's gone. Now we are still in the process of the next upgrades. So over here there's lots of workers, as we can see, that are rather closer to the industrial zone there. I don't want to have workers everywhere, though. We have 1,000 workers potentially that we can upgrade, so I would like to go ahead and do that, a bunch of them at least, right? So here, and then it goes more into the industrial zone over there. And by the way, since there's some naked areas as well, we might be using our modded version of the trees, the non-parks, and just add some city park areas to that as well. The city parks basically add some mixed trees, bushes, grasses to the area with transparent grass, so it does look very natural, especially when looking closer to the riverbanks there. And it's just a perfect way really of, you know, getting rid of any empty spaces here. Of course, grass is fine too, and there's still grasses being added to those ornaments, but it's a bit less often, right? And we do have these trees, so this is a way of beautifying the finished, more or less, coastlines here and riverbanks that we have on either side to further customize that city here. And as we can see, in some reasons it's looking really good. In others, perhaps we need to readjust a bit more grass into that. Unfortunately, we don't have any Ks or so that we could add here, right? So it's only bridges that's available there to me. But we can still make this one work with those city parks. Oh, hello there! Another dirt road that we will need to fix up there. We also have the apple trees, of course. Oh, and there's also an available fountain spot that I can still squeeze in as well. Just in general, it looks much better if we have trees right next to them. This building here, perhaps, this will probably need to move. It's just a bit too close there to the river. Unfortunately, the city is really packed at this point, and it's very hard for me to find new locations where I should move these buildings. And people are already pretty upset that I have moved them around there, because what we can see over there is we have some riots. Yes, it's been a while, but they happen from time to time. We do have a couple of police stations, though. They should do the trick, so no worries here. Oh, the mob is angry. Where is my beating down officers? We do have the weapons available. Send them. There's also a ruin over there. Ruins are always the worst part, of course. This one here looks like a nice... Well, we could have some flower beds here, right? Mixed with some trees. Mixed with those trees here. And actually, we could also have some entrances here, because that just fits to these buildings, to these assets, right? Where we have then the patches going over that. And around it, we could have some trees then. And actually, let's just squeeze it in full, and here we can then have some flower beds. Holy cow, there's really quite the action out there. No idea. Oh, and look at that, there would be room for a house. Probably a pretty cheap location there at this point, but I think we might have found something for our intrusive investor. So there's the fella. Let's take it. Let's move it all the way to that side here. Close to the engineers. He should have everything really. He does. Perfect. He's also got the electricity because we now have a power plant up there working as well. these people are happy, kind of, right? And of course, we still should look out for some separation then between the house and the factories. I mean, that poor investor really is very close to the industry there. It also should look like it. By the way, up here with the palace, I think we're pretty much set. I like it how it looks for now. We do have trees everywhere. The only thing that I could still think about is that there is a path going towards the lake that we have over there, right? So something like that, perhaps. Where we do have then kind of like a lookout post or outpost or looking points or viewpoints that those people can have, right? So we do have the wooden pavilion, of course, something like that. We also have the lookout point. There it is, right? So if we have a couple of them, that should be totally fine. Like here is one, here is one. We might also have one that is overlooking then into the mountains and to the waterfalls. And I think that is pretty much all we need to do here. Let's just have some proper road then to that. Right, so up to this location. And then perhaps also some kiosks where people can also purchase something. A souvenir shop. We might actually make a souvenir shop here. And then the ornate pavilions on those sides here, where you can look out. Taking some photographs. Very close to the whole thing. And then also, and some beverages for sure, and also some tables right next to it. So a little restaurant that we can have on our own, that is then surrounded perhaps by some flower beds or some trees as well. So let's add some trees. And then here perhaps one more, and then we can have these flower beds that kind of like separate the restaurant then from the rest. A nice little garden area, really. That's looking pretty cool, I think. That was my first individual restaurant that we get cracking there. Lots of people, of course, they can enjoy the day, and they can also then have these lookout posts where they're going to be having just an amazing look over everything that we have out there. Now, some of you have been suggesting, and very rightly so, that there might be space for a fish market over there close to the central, or too close to that station there. And that is really a cool idea. We have lots of concrete area here that we don't need. And that is also not looking so great. So we might just go ahead here and make us a little area where we can have those fish stands and stuff like that. Fish market, basically. We actually have the right buildings for that, right? We have the grocery store, the fishmonger store that we can use in that, the sandwich stack, and there it's in a boat, so that just fits as well. And yeah, actually we can do this here close to the tracks basically that we have. And we probably will make it so that the stands are close to the tracks there, right? Actually, their back should be to the, like so. So that fits a bit better there overall, I think. Here, can we make a double crossing? No, unfortunately, we cannot do that. So we'll just need to do it like so. That we have a couple of these here right next to each other. Right, so the cool thing is they're looking away from the tracks and kind of like acting as a barrier, because we do definitely need that. And then we have those two spots here. Can we build? We can build something here. That's pretty good. And then I would probably like to have 4 on either side, so that we can close this one better off them. And then we have the fishmonger stall, right? They are kind of like a pass through, I think, or so. That we just have a couple of them here right next to each other, and then there is another road, and then we have a grocery store area, right, where there is some fresh fruits and stuff like that. And we could probably also have bakery, pizzeria, a drinks shack that we can have then just over there. Also separate this once more. And here it ends now. I don't think that we can actually build something on that. No, we can't. So we'll need to push this one away there for now. And what else could we have there? Tin can, bar table. Now actually this one we can keep like that. What we could though definitely have over here is then some trees. And then also some trees over there. making this whole thing coming together there just more nicely, I think. And then here, of course, is the station, and we might just have then something here as well. Something for the tourists, I guess, or for people that are not completely used to this area. Oh, the anchor. The anchor makes a lot of sense in this area. I would like to have the anchor here somewhere. We'd probably have 2 anchors here. Greeting everyone. Looking towards the people. That is a pretty cool detail there. The anchors that we can set. And then we're just going ahead here with some city light. And also a clock house. So we can have them in this area. This is a nice little fish market, really. Right in front of the docklands. No people yet, but I'm pretty sure they're coming in here soon. There's already the first customer on its way, if he's not getting driven down by the train, of course, that is. I gotta say, I really do am getting into the mood for these market stands and market stalls that we can build there all the time. I think it's just really, really nice looking and, well, adds a lot to any city. So let's also get some beverages over there and then some groceries and perhaps some cheesemonger stalls then here as well. It's just a tiny market area that we have then on the other end of the docklands, just there, right? There's this bus station here, rather solitary, where we also might have something right next to it. So the first thing I would like to have probably, yep, we could have these solitary trees there as a decoration, and then something for the tourists or the maps. I do like the maps that we have there, and also a street map as well that those people definitely need. It just really needs to be at every bus station basically, that we have that left and right there as well. On that side here, on the other side of Crown Falls, we have a stark contrast between workers and then boom, engineers all of a sudden. That doesn't really fit in, and we can do this. We can upgrade that many as well. We do have the population. Let's go ahead and upgrade all of them here to artisans, and then perhaps this whole road there still as well. Right, and only then do we further move into workers that is a bit closer than to the industrial zone. And I'm using the colorful ones. Let's just keep the basic ones here. We don't always need to have colorful or industrial looking artisans. The basic version is just fine as well. Now there's also this tiny area up here where we have an amazing look down on Crown Falls with all the monuments and skyscrapers, and there's still nothing here, right? So we have the zoo obviously, and right next to that nothing yet, and I would like to change that once more. So here we can, or what I would definitely like to have is once more the lookout posts. Probably a couple of them. So one is here, the other one is here, and then one more up here on this, on the outermost area, and then probably also one here, just overlooking everything of that. Then we can have once again have our double roads. Perhaps we change the road to another road. We do have the plaza. Let's build it first and then decide. And then a balloon once more. Could we do this? Could have a balloon area just here, right? So there someone can launch and have a look over everything. And then also once again some pavilions there overlooking the city, where also people can sit and enjoy the day then. And there we can have one. And just really here by the balloon I would like to have, for example, some postcard vendors, right? So something that people can use to enjoy the day. We get another Pope incoming. It's perfect. And let's also have some of these. Let's actually not do this for now. I would like to have some beverages and stuff like that. Beverage stand that we can have then just here. And then also a food stand that we can have just here. And this one has then some tables and stuff like that around it. The family table right here by the zoo and right here. And that's probably the end of it though. Because now we can really have our plaza street here for that. Here we'll have some separation. And here we probably have it. We just have some more of these tables then around the beverages there. Perfect. And then we already have the separation with the zoo basically that I can have on that side. And then I would probably like to have some flower beds all the way around it, because I really don't want to plaster this completely full with everything again. We already did that quite often. And then here. We might actually have another lookout post then up there. Yes. Once more, where you can have a view of the ocean as well. That should do the trick. And then, to finish this whole thing off, we might also have then just some normal trees. Whatever you want to have in here. But I would like to use my natural ornaments trees, because I think they're just a tiny bit better. Just in general, a mixed area now. With some trees, some lookout posts, something to eat and drink if you want, so another location where people can go out there and enjoy their day. And of course, the view, you can't beat the view. Now something I had to check was why my farmers is down, and of course we had another huge massive fire. I've already countered that with building some more fire stations. Quite a lot of them too, right? Because one fire can basically destroy the whole town, and we were really lacking our fire stations there. This should bring the farmer population back up to its original size, and hopefully positive there as well. By the way, of course, we have forgotten Enbesa for quite some time, but not anymore on Tabarim, especially here. We are also really down on the shepherd workforce, so we do need to kind of like expand our town. And as we can see, we got the space for it. We do have already the main street then here that goes basically through the whole town. We don't need to have it any bigger though, because there's going to be trains and stuff like that. There's also some water here for another fire station that we can have then just in this area. And well, we could basically now go ahead and continue building our Enbesa city. So with you know, with the next districts basically that we have then over there and here, and as we can see, we're building them this time right away. Perhaps also this one, but that's enough copy and pasting. And then we probably will just have some normal blocks then as well. One tiny block here, and then the next marketplace just over here. That should hopefully take all of them into its radius. Instead of this one here, actually, let's have the musicians court. And here in the center once more. Right, that is providing some happiness for my people. And then some normal blocks perhaps over there, just like that. Oh yes, and don't forget, here we have our water canal system that probably will lead to another fire station. And boy, we really do need fire stations in Enbesa. Let's get rid of this house there. Or we could have it probably going up there through all of that and have the fire station here. That I would probably like to prefer, because then it takes a bit more, yep, all the way to the other side there. There's still another river slot available then. And then we only really need the canals that are going through. This one needs to go, and this one here is going to be the canal only. At least that's the general idea behind it. And then we have our canal system going over there. And then all the way there to that fire station here. Perfect. And the cool thing is, yep, you can have, of course, streets over these canals. And then we can just have some normal houses here once more. Because of course, Enbesa always needs to grow. And also needs to grow. Nah, let's make it a smaller block there. I don't want to get too close there to the river all the time. It's just not looking so good then. And then two more. I mean, here we are now very close. Let's get rid of that again. And just have this house there. That should be fine still. And then, of course, we can also continue over there. Ah, we still also need to build a monastery, of course. A monastery, sorry. And that we might actually just place really central. There we already have the location for that. And we could probably easily squeeze it in there. Do I need to get rid of two? Ah, I need to get rid of all of them. Still fine, still fine. Takes the whole block into account. Let's build it here in the center of it. Right? And then right next to these, we can then also have some more of our ornaments. Let's actually go with the trees. A mix of those trees there is fine. Something at least. And around the musicians' court as well. Just that we have something here in between. I really do like the monastery there. Such a beautiful, colorful building, really. Oh, Bente already starting to hate us again. I'm not surprised. But she should be trying. Or we are just going to completely crush her soon. No idea about that yet. The next block in Tabarim is finished. We should probably have a look at consumption rates then. And then we could also continue here. Stay tuned.